Mr. McLeod,
Contempt for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the charges.
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court taken into custody.
Really?
This hearing is complete chaos from start to finish. Mr. McLeod is charged with assaulting a police officer, but instead of focusing on the case, he argues that the court has no authority over him and pulls the classic sovereign citizen defense. He constantly interrupts, yells, and throws around fake legal terms, but the judge shuts him down every single time. Things quickly get heated, and by the end, the judge has no other choice but to have him placed in a jail cell for the night. This hearing is both frustrating and hilarious to watch because of how confident he is in arguments that make absolutely no sense, only to get completely dismantled by the legal system. If you enjoy this type of courtroom content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Let's dive right in.
Do you understand your right to a lawyer, including a court-appointed lawyer?
I understand that.
Okay. And do you wish to represent yourself instead of having an attorney?
Yeah, I'm here by special appearance, and I will be representing myself.
Okay. I'm required by law before I accept that waiver to do a couple things. One, advise you of the maximum penalties that you could face for the charges that you're in my court for. Resisting, obstructing conservation officers is a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $1,000 fine. There's a habitual offender second notice that's been filed by the prosecutor, which would make that a felony punishable by up to 3 years and or $1,000 fine. And marine safety operating while intoxicated is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days and or $100 to $500 fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty for the charges against you?
Well, I don't even really understand why I'm here, honestly.
Honestly, pay attention to how calm this judge stays throughout this entire moment. Despite all the interruptions and constant nonsense, he still tries to give Mr. McLeod a fair chance to explain himself. It's actually pretty impressive how much patience the judge shows while McLeod keeps pretending not to understand even the most basic legal concepts. Instead of cooperating, he continues making the situation worse for himself with every interruption. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you believe this guy is genuinely unstable? Or is he just putting on an act to avoid taking responsibility?
Well, okay. Well, that's fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty that I just explained to you?
No.
Hold on. I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things.
Well, I need to establish a couple things too, honestly.
Hold on. Well, I can't let you represent yourself until I establish a couple things, or I'm going to be in trouble.
Okay.
Do you understand that the maximum penalty that you could face for the charges that you're here for is up to 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me. So I
what is it that you don't understand? Do you not understand how long 3 years is, or how much the fine is that I've articulated? Can you tell me what
I
it
don't
is you don't
understand the
understand?
nature and cause of the action against me because we don't establish jurisdiction.
That's not what I'm asking you right now. Well, I'll let you place whatever objections you want on the record, Mr. McLeod. I promise you that. Okay. Can we just go one step at a time? So do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as charged? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine?
Well, I have another question because the statutory jurisdiction doesn't exist under the Constitution. So in order for me to defend myself, could you please tell me where the published rules of conduct are for criminal statutory jurisdiction, or where I can find the nature and cause of this jurisdiction, or how this information exists?
No, I don't even understand what you're asking.
So you're saying this is a statutory jurisdiction under what? The statutes of Michigan, correct?
Mr. McLeod, I've told you what my jurisdiction is.
General jurisdiction.
The people of the state of Michigan voted to convene a constitutional convention in 1961.
Sure.
There was a constitutional convention in 1961 and 1962. They proposed a state constitution. The voters of the state of Michigan ratified that in 1963. Article 6 establishes the judicial power. And the circuit court is a court under that judicial power of Article 6 of the state constitution. And so you're here in my court. I have subject matter jurisdiction over those crimes. I have personal jurisdiction over you because you've been alleged to have committed them in our county. That's my jurisdiction. So, Mr. McLeod, do you want to represent yourself? Do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face of 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
One second.
I can see why his attorney withdrew. Oh, shit.
Hang on, someone in the prosecutor's office is not muted. I'm going to remove you from the meeting at this time.
Oh,
Prosecutor's office is generally allowed to attend to observe. They've participated. I'm removing them from the hearing.
Honestly, she wasn't wrong at all. This was such a raw and unfiltered moment that you really couldn't help but laugh. It's honestly surprising the judge managed to keep a straight face through all of it. Moments like this make you wonder how situations this absurd even happen inside a courtroom. Maybe someone just got caught up in how ridiculous the entire case had become. But either way, it perfectly captured what everyone in that room was probably thinking about. Mr. McLeod. And if we're being realistic, it makes total sense why his attorney decided to withdraw. Mr. McLeod is sitting there flipping through his stack of papers, desperately searching for some made-up legal loophole that he believes will magically get him out of trouble. He genuinely looks convinced that he's about to pull off some hidden legal trick and escape the charges. Meanwhile, the judge, the prosecutor, and pretty much everyone else in the courtroom already knows exactly how this is going to end. But Mr. McLeod just keeps going, acting like he's cracked some secret code within the legal system, when in reality, he's only making things worse for himself. You really have to wonder what sovereign citizens expect to happen in these situations. Do they honestly believe a judge is suddenly going to stop the hearing and say, "You know what? You're right, case dismissed"? Watching it feels like someone trying to win a game without even understanding the rules. By the end, even the prosecutor's small comment feels like the perfect finishing touch. Because anyone in that position would probably be thinking the exact same thing. What's even more unbelievable is how committed sovereign citizens are to these ideas. Just like Mr. McLeod, they often sit there shuffling through papers and quoting fake laws as if it somehow changes reality. It's incredibly entertaining to watch, but at the same time, it's also pretty delusional. Anyway, let's jump back into the hearing.
Mr. McLeod, do you understand the maximum penalty that you could face?
One second. Okay, so when enforcement of mere statutes, judges of all courts do not act judicially and are thus are not protected and qualified by limited immunity. That's Owen versus the city. I just want to state a few things for the record since you're claiming this is a jurisdiction under statutory law.
Hang on. Mr. McLeod, can we back it? Look at me for a second. Can we talk here?
I challenge subject matter jurisdiction and nothing can go forward until that's addressed. You're saying
I did address it and I denied your objection. I have subject matter
doesn't
jurisdiction.
exist under the Constitution.
Your objection is noted. Okay, so, Mr. McLeod, do you understand? Let me explain to you.
Sure.
Sometimes, as I said, people might want to represent themselves, but let's say they have limited intellectual capacity and they don't understand what's going on.
You can clearly tell the judge has completely run out of patience with this guy at this point. It's not even about being savage anymore. It's just pure facts. While Mr. McLeod keeps fumbling through papers and quoting completely made-up laws, the judge stays calm and shuts everything down in the most professional way possible. You really have to respect how composed he remains while calling the situation exactly as it is without showing any frustration on the surface. Moments like this are a perfect reminder of why judges hold ultimate authority in the courtroom.
I have to establish that they know what's going on before I can allow them to represent themselves. I'm required to establish, do you comprehend, do you know the maximum penalty that you could face if you're convicted as a result of this charge? 3 years in prison or $1,000 fine. Do you understand that, Mr. McLeod?
So I'd like to state for the record that
Mr. McLeod,
the
stop.
court can be,
Stop, Mr. McLeod. If you don't understand it, I'm going to revoke your right to represent yourself and have an attorney represent you because I can't establish that you know what you're doing. So do you know the maximum penalty that you would face?
I've challenged this court's jurisdiction. You haven't established it yet. You said you've got a statutory jurisdiction which doesn't exist under the Constitution. I'm trying to figure out where I stand with this. So I can't answer any of your questions until you answer some of mine.
That's not how it works. Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm
Then answer it. Do you understand the maximum penalty that you face for this charge?
So judges who become involved in enforcement of
Mr.
these
McLeod,
statutes.
I have other matters, Mr. McLeod.
Involved agency. What's that?
You know, I understand you want to object to things, and you're going to be allowed to object to things, okay?
Sure.
But we have to do things one step at a time. And I do have other cases today. I'm not going to entertain this for like a whole hour. I've got other cases going on. If you want to dig in your heels and just make this real complicated or real difficult, we could do that. And I can hold you in contempt and you'll go back to a jail cell for a while.
No, Your
and then
Honor,
we'll deal with
I
it.
don't wish to be held in contempt. I just wish to exercise my Sixth Amendment right.
That's fine.
And
So before I can let you under,
I can
before I
cite
can,
laws, I can cite laws that will show you that the exercise of a right can be converted into a crime. I'm trying to understand the nature and cause of the action against me. You're not clarifying it enough to where I can comprehend it, as you say.
you don't comprehend the maximum penalty that you would face.
I'm not answering any of those questions until you establish that this is a court of the Constitution, has jurisdiction under these jurisdictions.
I established it. I told you. You might think I'm wrong and you can appeal.
There's
it
no
to the
such
Michigan
thing as
Court
a
of Appeals.
statutory jurisdiction.
Mr. McLeod, let me make this simple for you. Do you ever watch, let me make this simple for you.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you this question one more time. One more time.
Okay.
Two things are going to happen. You are either going to answer my question or I'm going to hold you summarily in contempt. And the court officer will bring you to a jail cell and we'll talk about it tomorrow. You understand that?
So.
Mr. McLeod,
Contempt for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand the charges.
Mr. McLeod is in contempt of court, taken into custody.
Really? That's it. Protecting my rights is what you said last time. Sorry.
Fucking Joe.
This isn't true. You guys
You'll
are
have to
following
follow
orders.
unconstitutional
You're following
orders.
unlawful orders. It's not constitutional at all.
Mr. McLeod's in contempt, he's sentenced to 1 day. Mr. McLeod, your sentence is 1 day in jail. We'll reconvene tomorrow and get you
This is about
notice.
the Constitution. I did nothing wrong except to question and exercise my rights.
This guy is honestly such a joke. Watching him try to act like a lawyer when he clearly has no idea what he's doing is genuinely embarrassing. I don't understand why he didn't just get an attorney. It's not only common sense, it's also a right. Under the Sixth Amendment, he has the right to legal counsel. And if he can't afford one, the court can even provide a free attorney for him. Instead, he's sitting there fumbling through stacks of papers and throwing out nonsense that carries zero weight in a real courtroom. You can actually see the judge trying to give him a fair chance at the beginning, speaking calmly, explaining things clearly, and giving him time to respond properly. But even the most patient judge has limits, and eventually, the court has no choice but to shut it down. The wildest part is how confident he looks. While making a complete fool of himself, he genuinely acts like he's about to unlock some hidden, legal secret, but the law is actually very straightforward in situations like this. Sometimes it's just a simple yes or no answer, nothing more complicated than that. And keep in mind, this isn't a minor issue. He's facing charges for assaulting a police officer, which is a serious offense and often treated as a felony. From what it looks like, he could be looking at around 3 years. Instead of addressing the charge properly, trying to negotiate, or building a real defense, he's wasting everyone's time, including his own, and it's only making things worse for him. You can even hear the judge pointing out that none of his arguments actually apply to the case. It almost feels like McLeod is living in his own world, convinced he's making progress when he really isn't. As entertaining as it is to watch, there's also a more serious side to it. Sovereign citizen arguments like this have been rejected by courts for decades. Judges are required to follow actual law, not personal interpretations or made-up theories. In reality, this approach has consistently failed in courtrooms, going back many years. At the end of the day, this kind of behavior can have serious consequences. A felony conviction can affect basic rights like voting and firearm ownership, and it can also lead to prison time. That wraps up this breakdown. Let me know in the comments what you think about Mr. McLeod. Do you think he actually believes this, or is he just acting? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more courtroom content. Thanks for watching, and take care.